Hey, what's up? It's Fuel Your Life Friday. Let's go. On this Friday, I decided to get a little real and raw with you guys and share something that I'm not always very vocal about. And that's the fact that I've always been a little anxious. I shake my leg at speeds that can seriously shake a car when I am nervous, stressed, or I feel bad energy, or even if I'm bored. It's truly an involuntary reaction that I don't even notice that I'm doing most of the time until someone asks me to stop. Along with my anxiousness comes stress. Through the years, I've grown to become more mindful in the way I talk to myself, the way I speak to others, the way I act when I'm following my ego instead of my intuition, and of course, by identifying things that stress me out to my breaking point. What triggers our stress is completely different than the techniques that we use to cope with stress. Stress for me is triggered by numerous things, but it usually comes down to either having to make a big decision or by having too much on my plate to handle. Now, I can physically reduce my stress by saying no to things, managing my time better, and by not putting so much pressure on these quote-unquote big decisions. But that's often easier said than done, right? So how can we reduce the emotion of stress that we feel in the moment by bringing in mindfulness into play? Well, I have 4 easy things that you can do, okay? Number 1, don't immediately react. Take a second to pause, think, and absorb the information that you just obtained. Remember that your reaction is an action that you own. Be sure it's a reaction that you truly want to express. Number 2, remember that emotions aren't facts. How we feel about something does not make it fact. Recognize your feelings and allow yourself to experience them, all while remembering that we produce our own emotions to scenarios. Number 3, write it out. Sometimes we want to say things that we know we should not. Oftentimes, if we're upset and spew out the first thing that's on our mind, it's likely very hurtful. Write out your emotions to get them off your chest and out of your mind. You'll physically feel as if a weight has been lifted. And lastly, number 4, mindful breathing. Many who meditate or even practice yoga know that the breath connects us and allows us to slow down. It's an easy practice that simply requires you to focus on your attention on the inhale and exhale of your breath. While the practice itself is easy, keeping your attention on your breath can prove to be quite difficult. If you find yourself slipping away and thinking about something else other than your breath, it's okay. Simply bring your attention back. Mindfulness is not an elimination of stress, but it's more of an awareness of your thoughts. And since thoughts provoke emotion, we're often able to change how we think or feel about a situation simply by being more mindful. Next time you're feeling stressed, identify what's causing the stress and then mindfully center yourself by using the above techniques. If you're having a hard time slowing down your mind or thinking more positive, check out my book, Mindful Love, Bite-Sized Thought Nuggets to Fuel Your Life. It's now available to order on Amazon. If you enjoyed this week's episode, share it with a friend and give it a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you tune in and turn it up. That's all for today. I'll see you back here next week for another episode, but until then, remember, every level of life is an opportunity to grow. Be well, my friend.